wonder if I can. Two. I'm gonna try to get my weapons upgraded. I'm gonna be here for a while. I need 14 of them. That's 12. That's only makes me have 3. Damn. Obviously I can make that. That's a problem. Oh, never mind, that is a problem. At least everything is up, except for this, but...
Did someone teach you to fight? Or is every Rubytsu born with a sword and pistol in hand?
I like to think we're naturals on the battlefield, but I got my training in the Rubytsu Navy.
Does no one study before then?
We learn the basics, just like anyone else. Believe it or not, we don't all become soldiers. We've got trade guilds and universities. Our best scholars wind up at the Lore College.
Interesting.
What brought this on?
Well, I was flinging fireballs at a very young age, and I wondered if Rubytsu had perfected fireproof homes.
The storms take care of that for us.
Fair point.
Well, we're gonna do a nice hard save right here. We're gonna keep going. Man, I kinda wish I could take everyone with me. Okay.
Safe to assume that the large glowing door is part of Sapadal's prison. Now, we'll just have to get past it.
Sapadal's prison, I think. What else could it be? Time to shut it down forever.
Oh yeah. That's fine. Care less about that one. I hear swinging things.
Someone thinks it's
Bravo.
Gods. Just imagine what an animancer could accomplish here. It reminds me of the phantasmal focus. But more. So much more.
I don't know why, but it feels like we're being watched.
You probably are. That's a dead bear. Can I like no, not that. You can teleport. I also don't have the right thing. Where? That's 4, but apparently it's important to the quest.
I don't think Magfolk arms work like that. It seems like we've drawn a crowd.
My God. Ow. I'm not even gonna get into that. But I hit him so hard, he...
Looks like the gate's open. Well, what are we waiting for?
Still trying to fight one. Yeah, this takes a while. They have a lot of health. And I'm doing as much damage as I can. Boom. God damn it. Get the fuck out of my way.
That was a close one.
Oh, it's just a lemur. You know, as much as this seems like a warm welcome, I don't think it's that great of a warm welcome. I grabbed it. Okay, F5. Oh shit. Here we go. That's so sketchy. I'm so glad my character did that. It's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm letting her free, so I don't know if that's the best choice.
You have come at last, after so long. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil. You persevered. Now, you are here.
Yes, here to stop the dream's curse. There's not much time.
The rot, we feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be freed from these bonds. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh.
You mean Warnica?
She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore.
Wait, is something happening in Paradise?
Blood on the tile. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now, we will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there.
But what do I do? Ow.
Breathe. Focus. Shape the essence with your hands. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills.
Want your freedom once more. It's what we asked from you at the beginning.
We want nothing more than that. We mourn our past. We only seek peace now. A chance to regrow.
The only way I will set you free if you truly want to change.
We trust you. You who have been by our side for so long. You met death, and you offered your hand.
Was fighting something bigger than me. Didn't need to die for it.
And where is your mercy for us? You know we deserve better than this. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity.
If you can promise you will do better.
Do you think we have learned nothing from you? We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear?
What are you talking about?
The beautiful thing you killed. Already you have forgotten. We asked what you would do with an animal that sickened after a fight. Do you remember what you said?
Close the wound, disinfect it, heal it.
More than anything, that is what we desire too. Treat us as you would the bear. Clean our wounds, heal us. Grant us the same. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long.
I'll free you. Just show me how.
Center your thoughts. Reach for us. Clear the fog. Tear down the gates. We were so blind, so lost. We brought such horrors to this place. We feel bright. We had forgotten what it is to live. We will grow, tend, flower. We will always remember this. We will remember you when you are ash and soil and mulch.
Unleash the power of Sapidol to lift all nearby enemies and slam them, dealing high damage. I was gonna say, Sapidol free now? Hello? Oh, it's parodies. I love how my character would do the same thing as I would. Literally. I would be so cautious. I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know about this. We don't talk about the Deathfires, okay? We don't. But we're back in Paradise. I wonder how Paradise is doing. We freed Sapidol.
Andra's depths. Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapidol's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Aora could transport us so quickly, or so far.
Back to the beginning where it all started.
What happened to the living land started long ago, and we're going to finish it.
Are you seeing this? I don't think parodies look like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Yes.
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks.
Hey, at least you didn't let 6 years go by.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time, assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel Garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Day Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
Wonder who struck first.
It's who strikes last that counts.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapado?
Free Sapado from the prison. The Dream Scourge is over.
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapado. Time will tell, I suppose.
Yep. Only time can tell.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Maybe they'll help us in return.
Kid and God entwine. The flower shades the soil in which it grows.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Get unspent points. Oh, wow.
Sansa, how did you make it out here?
They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. I just ran.
Easy. You're here now. Where did they come from?
Envoy! What does the Garrote think they're doing?
Whatever it takes to show Paradis they're in charge.
What's the point of exploring if you just want to plant your flag everywhere?
Is everything at Emporium alright?
They broke some glass, but the map is safe.
That's good.
They didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. Gods, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help.
Done enough.
You always were a forgiving friend.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you.
Oh, really?
I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount, you know, for saving the city and everything.
Oh my god, please give me all your goddamn potion. Why not? It's the end of the game. I can care less. I need that. Yeah.
Snow? Why is there snow here?
That's gotta be Ringgrim's work. I heard she made it snow in Shatterscarp.
Wow. But why snow?
This is cold and unforgiving. You can also make really great cold jokes.
A familiar face. We meet again, Envoy. And you, Yardsley. You're always a prodigious and welcome sight.
Oh, yes. Always a pleasure to see you, too.
Paradise burns. Thanks to Ludwig and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
Wait. How? I killed Ludwig at Mount Forja.
She must have come back to life. Again. I suppose we couldn't be lucky enough for her to stay dead.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions.
Race Capital, that's an incredible world changing.
Perhaps. A new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice.
Decision I made was what I felt correct in that moment.
Wise answer, that. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire.
Open ends and a long nap after some excellent food.
Mortal comforts are so very adorable. All you desire are your base needs lavishly fulfilled. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Yes, of course. I look forward to working with you.
Okay. Definitely time to
Ripple across the living lands.
Giatta, where have you been? Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
How is Emerald Stair? More importantly, how are you?
Thriving on both counts, I'm happy to report. My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So I gathered the flock.
Good thinking. I see you, Elia.
Likewise. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. Emerald Stair is healing, believe it or not. Once this is over, our crops will flourish like never before.
Which, now we have to keep the living lands from deceding into war.
Easier said than done, I suppose. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Thank you, Elia. My compliments to the flock, as always.
Enjoy the time with your flock, dearie. Try to keep them out of the other camps.
Okay, we got an hour to finish this. So glad I did not try to stay up for this.
Is that you?
Hey, what's up, Warden?
Envoy, how did you... I don't know. Where did you come from? You just appeared out of nowhere.
Long story. What are you doing here?
Once word about Paradis reached us, we were allowed to go. But listen to me rambling. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one request while you're here. As much as you can, be good to the living ones.
Welcome. Good may vanquish evil here and elsewhere.
I suppose, but I'd just like for us to live lives that are free. For us. Not Adir to determine our fates. It's going to be up to you, Envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
Welcome.
Strike like you mean it.
I'm literally at the end of the game. One more boss. Oh. Oh, right. Okay, so bloodwood. Then I don't have Cape Coil. God damn it. Anyway.
So, here we are. The first and last battle for the living lands.
We can only hope it's the last.
Try praying instead of just hoping. That might work better for you. Metaphysically, the battle is already over. Sapadal is free, and the Dream Scourge is gone. But politically, we have a small mess to tidy up.
We have unfinished business with the Steel Garrote.
I intend to send a message to the Steel Garrote, and it won't be subtle. Anyway, who knows what tomorrow will bring, so let's be grateful for today. You've earned a little peace of mind.
We all have.
I think that's enough wool gathering for now. Besides, I need to tinker on the phantasmal focus. Make sure it's ready for war. Don't stay up too late. You too. We should take a moment to acknowledge what happened back there. You liberated the god of the living lands. Now they are unchained, free to do whatever they want. That's quite a gamble you made.
Keeping Sapadal trap wasn't good for the island.
No doubt it would have gotten worse over time. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it?
I'll use it to make it better in living lands.
That's a lot of responsibility, but I have faith you're equal to it. Sapadal's imprisonment shaped this island. Now that everything's changed, I'm curious what will happen. We cannot know if the living lands will normalize or destabilize as a result of our actions.
Either way, things could not continue as they were.
For better or worse, change is inevitable. Maybe you'll find some comfort in prayer, now that one of the gods is listening. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. The subject matter is a bit much for our little camp.
One of these days I want to hear more about your adventures.
Just be careful what you wish for. I want you to know this has been an unforgettable experience. Wherever we go from here, I'm grateful to have been a part of it. Until next time. Pleasant dreams.
Alright, so this is only
Got it.
Marius.
There you are, Envoy. You ready for this?
Ready as hell to be.
Understood. Same here. I guess it helps we have a god on our side, right? I mean, a god beats a skeleton knight any day. This is just cleanup. Just figuring out who controls the living lands from here out.
Right, this is just politics.
Someone once told me that war is just applied politics. Never really understood what that meant. Anyway, you should get some rest. Oh, if you need to rehearse any speeches or whatever, make sure you do it in front of someone else.
You don't want to hear my speeches?
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I'd just rather not. Talk to you later, Envoy.
Lanatat.
Say again?
You sneezed. Lanatat.
You mean Yanatot. Lanatot means something else.
Oh. Well, what does it mean then?
It's someone who enjoys special time by themselves. Intimately.
So that's not an accurate descriptor for yourself? Oh, is that why you're so tense?
Right. I'm gonna sit here quietly now.
Of course, dearie. Oh, and Yanatat.
Let's fucking roast the man. The fuck? The fuck? I don't think he was ready for that smoke. Yeah, exit here. I'm gonna drop you out. I'm gonna keep her, but we're not dealing with a god now. We're doing a war.
Envoy? Is it really you?
What's up, Ambassador?
Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nakutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
I'm at the... God of Living Lands and free them.
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them?
Sapadal is the god of the godless, and the god of the living lands.
Ludwig had intimated that this land grew a new god. But how can that be?
Giata and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the living lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutadek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku Bell. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
Sapadal deserves a chance to make amends.
Let's hope they don't decide to further amend themselves by coming for our heads.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nanru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise.
I see that.
Inquisitor Ludwine has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
I distinctly remember killing Ludwin on top of Mount Forgia.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Damn, I really thought I killed her for good.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Might not be the last either, depending on how things go. So long as her passion for Wodica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That'll be easy.
Oh yeah, it'd be simple.
It is not, I think...
like writing a book.
Impossible.
What did you know about this attack, Bastard?
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwine who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
You know the state of the city?
We've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradise is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
Plans for a counterattack?
Well, that's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the Steel Garrote, nor who should lead the effort.
Nobody wants to risk their people at the front.
So you let the Paradise militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should make it inside.
The siege won't end until Ludwine does. And none of you know how to kill her.
Precisely.
What's this statue of the...
We brought as many Hail and Abel from Thirdborn as would come. But after the Dream Scourge and our losses from Nakuku Bell, we could spare so few. I worry it won't be enough.
Likewise, my wardens are still reeling from effects of the eruption. The keep was saved, but there is much to repair, particularly if we are to endure a siege. Most of my men remain at the keep. I can't risk them against the Steel Garrote for the sake of Paradise, not when we are so few.
What does Ludwin hope to achieve here?
The lawful settlement of a new Adirian colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Wodican state. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement.
But this is a lawful attack.
I'm afraid the law's whatever compels her to righteous victory. Remember, she has an obligation to Wodica, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garrote nor the queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
Why did Ludwin decide to attack Paradise now?
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Ludwine and the Tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence.
We can assign blame. When does that settle?
Why are you treating him with kid gloves when Paradis cries out for help?
Enough. I've heard your concerns. We cannot change it now.
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true God. That's Ludwig's vision for the Living Lands.
You think the Living Lands? This is what the Emperor wants?
The Inquisitor answers only to Wodekan. In attacking Paradis, she has dragged us all far beyond the bounds of the Emperor's desires.
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand.
Thank you for the follow.
The frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed,
Heyo.
we're already here.
How about we unite in the Living Lands?
Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Also, how you doing? Turn to your companions. What do you think?
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing. Setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Turn inward. Options capital?
Rest into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds?
Okay. Well, that didn't help at all.
Many fruits on our boughs. We graft many leaves into strength.
I assume the assembled leaders have thoughts.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you. I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel, even less. So long as the Wardens can continue our vigil, I'm open to uniting, if you are.
It's a nice idea, but consider the costs. If we walk away from a relationship with Adir, we're leaving a lot of trade on the table. But the people of Thirdborn have friends in the world. I'm sure we'd find our way through.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? When my people return to Fjord, we could create such miracles of animancy, the Living Lands would become the breadbasket of the world.
Tell me about the other possibilities.
Of course.
I'm not familiar with Griefem. How does that work?
The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adia's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid.
What do you think?
Tribute, he says. Taxes. Soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Subtle, pernicious, touch the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
What kind of decisions have we made so far? I have freed Sapadol. Oh god, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so big decisions. So I decided to go with subduing the dream rot for a little bit, but sacrificing a lot of people. Obviously, you know, free Sapadol. I killed Lunwin, even though she just came back. Fjorn, I killed the Steel Garrote in the cave. That saved Fjorn. And then I helped the people in the Tusk make sure they still have their home. That's all the decisions. Also, sorry about my V2 model being really weird. Just whenever I play PC games.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. But we have wealth enough to give some away, if it means my wardens may return to their vigil in peace.
A grave room could work, so long as trade keeps moving through the Scarp and you're willing to serve as our go-between, Envoy. And we'll have cannons enough to deter the adherents from trying anything stupid.
With the Dream Scourge ended, my people can soon return to Fjord. If a renewed animancy could easily feed the island, I suppose we could send Adir what's left. But when lean times come, who will we feed first? Ourselves or the Empire?
Who would be our...
Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. But I suspect he would choose you. Only the strong survive the frontier. I used to believe that was Ludwig. But you were born to rule here. Quite literally.
It's a lot to take in.
Give the matter some thought. You owe that much to yourself, at least.
Tell me about the other possibilities.
Of course.
Why are you and I involved in this decision?
I know why.
You have seen more of this land and met more of its people than any of us. Your opinion is informed. You were empowered by the Emperor himself to investigate an impossible problem. And against the odds, you solved it. You are the close personal friend of a rogue god. And in our dealings together, I found you to be a person of substance and conviction. But mostly, it's because you're a Diran, so I trust you.
These fine people here are going to do whatever they like if they don't agree with you anyway.
What would become the colony?
The Living Lands would become an extension of the Adiran Empire in leadership and law. Soldiers bearing the flag of Adir would be garrisoned in every town. They would be paid in Adiran shelling and speak only the Adiran language. Their roads would be smooth Adiran roads. Their medicine would be hygienic Adiran medicine. And their weapons would be efficient Adiran weapons.
Well, I'm gonna
Our
kill
customs would
Ludwin.
become
I know
their
that
customs.
much.
Our strengths would become their strengths.
But
Our emperor would become their emperor. Turned toward a common purpose. No one, not Rawatai, not the Valian republics, not even a rogue god, would dare attack the Living Lands. This island would be safe for the first time in its history, and safe it would remain.
So, I don't want it to be, like, completely underneath Adiran's law, right? I don't think that's the proper choice to do. I think if you let the Living Lands continue the way it was, they could be fine, but they wouldn't have, like, the way I'm thinking about this is like this. Let's say I do the other option that's just like, hey, you know, you could do trades and stuff like that. They would still be protected by Adirans, but the Living Lands will still be operational for themselves. And like what Kai said, it could be 2 or 3 generations down. That could change, but that's 2 or 3 generations down, and so on and so forth. I think I'm going to lean towards that option because I think that that is the best option. Because they still be able to keep the Living Lands. Adirans can help if someone attacks. And they be able to provide, you know, food and stuff like that. But I know they don't really care for animancers. That's my only issue.
He would suppress our culture before it's had a chance to grow. Everything my people cultivated would be reduced to a footnote. If you have any love for this land, do not allow him to overwrite our history.
Rawatai built its empire from colonies like
Uniting
this.
the Living
Many
Lands.
have become centers of culture and prosperity, backed by the protection of a strong navy. Of course, it can take decades to get there. And this road isn't an easy one. But Adir won't be the only empire eyeing this place. A formal agreement now could protect us from something worse later.
It shall be peaceful in that all dissenters will be silenced. So there's that.
The Living Lands is a lot of things, but it will never be Adir, no matter how hard Adir wants it to be. Adir should turn back now and save everyone a bunch of blessed trouble.
Yeah, they're not terrible. I played halfway through Pillars of Eternity 2, and I kind of stopped. I don't know why I stopped. I don't remember. But, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Adir. I do think that... Let alone, the problem with Adir is that they let a fucking god... I know this much, right, from... the Pillars universe. They kind of talk about it in this, and fine. They let a fucking god twice just kind of fuck everything up. Yeah. And Wartica, we know, is kind of like an iron fist. That's kind of the way you would think Wartica.
The adder's promise. Clip our feathers as we find our wings. The deed binds as the wire binds. To drown us, why were we set free?
The traditions of solace are what give my wardens their strength. Without them, we would buckle under the weight of the tusks. I would sooner walk my people into the acid sea than trust an Adiran to hold me up.
What need does Thirdborn have for the protections of Adiran soldiers? We have cannons, cliffs, and wills forged in the storms of Rawatai. And should Rawatai come for us, we will rain hellfire down on their heads. Your Adirans could do no better.
Under Adiran rule, your countrymen would strip my people of everything that makes them unique, all in the name of spiritual hygiene. I cannot betray them like that.
Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs while Paradis burns.
This wouldn't be a bad option. The only issue is that being underneath Adiran's rule, no one, like, the Animancers just won't be able to have freedom. But I think this probably would be the better option. I'm gonna do this.
Oh, gods have mercy.
Solus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her Animancers stand with the living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
Yeah, I went for independence.
They made the right decision for once.
No, that might not
Some
be.
sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
I will meet Ludwine on the battlefield. No man stands who tries to stop me.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you all for trusting me.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza.
Understood.
May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the living lands takes care of its own.
Time to stop the Steel Garrote. Lead the way, Envoy.
Let's go free a city, shall we?
Okay, and C wants to talk to me, so we're gonna go back to camp real fast. We also have something to say.
You should get some sleep. Big day coming up.
I see you're still up?
Right. Things feel different now. Wrong, somehow. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but it's always been a fight to survive. it's just a fight. Putting my life on the line for someone else's cause. It's the opposite of survival. It's foolishness.
You're right, it doesn't make sense, but sometimes it's necessary.
You know, I've never seen a bear go to war. They fight for survival, not for causes. We're about to go out there and risk our lives for what? A concept of how things ought to be? We might die, all to determine who sleeps in the nicest house in Paradis until the island decides it's time for a change. It's fine, really. But it's some blessed day Sokka when you think about it.
Glad you're with me, Marius.
Right. Careful
areas.
you don't get stuck in all that sap. I'll be all right, Envoy. You go get some rest.
And you said you
can't sleep?
Possibly no.
Neither can I. We're going into battle for the soul of the living lands, rallying under the banners of the Paradise Militia. Your Emperor will not be pleased.
I have influence in the court. My report on the living lands will change minds.
Political influence is dangerous. If you aren't careful, it can turn against you. When a godlike fights in battle, people take note of which side. The Adirans will doubt your loyalty. The locals will doubt your commitment. You may even doubt yourself. This is the first time you were told to pick a side. And I fear it won't be the last.
It's kind of difficult for me. My soul is for the living lands, but my heart belongs to Adir.
This conflict has really pulled you apart. Worse, it's put your soul at risk. From what I understand, your ambassador is very persuasive, very powerful, and very accustomed to getting his way. For a politician like him, losing a battle is not a defeat. It's an opportunity. When he promises you the world, don't listen. He'll fill your head with lies if you let him.
Noted. Thanks for the warning.
I'm glad we understand each other. It's good to see you fighting for the misfits and rabble-rousers. Time for you to get some rest. We have a big day ahead of us.
You concerned?
In truth, I'm not as worried as I used to be. I've been thinking about the Inquisitor. Formulating a theory, you might say. A Death Guard clings to their existence by force of will. Stubbornness, unfinished business, that sort of thing. Ludwig is held together by faith, and that may be her undoing.
A Sapidal challenge her faith.
Precisely. Faith is the foundation of her reality. Faith in the righteousness of the gods. But according to her faith, Sapidal should not exist. A new god independent of hers? Blasphemy. By that logic, you shouldn't exist either. And yet here you are.
Something tells me it might take more than reason to bring her down.
Yes, but she's weaker than she knows. If not in body, then in spirit. You are the godlike of a heretical god. A contradiction to her reality. Can you imagine how much she needs you to die? Her entire worldview depends on it. Who knows? Maybe that uncertainty is enough to make her mortal again. Or maybe not. I'm just theorizing as I go. Whatever happens, I want to see it for myself. For the research. Thanks for talking.
Okay.
I can't wait to give the
I'll do a hard save.
Garot a piece of my mind. The reckoning is long overdue.
You're gonna give him a lot more than a piece of your mind. Save some for the rest of us.
Odd fighting alongside the militia, but it feels right. Like we're fighting for the survival of the lands.
How many times do we have to teach the Steel Garrote this lesson?
I'm gonna take these two with me. Oh, I just have everyone with me. Fuck yeah.
Envoy, watch your left!
I was worried for a second.
Another win. But
Yeah.
found.
I do so much damage. Oh my god.
Foolishness.
Fair enough. I got a big ogre on my side. Sometimes I'm really good at parrying, and sometimes I'm horrific at it. Yeah. I feel like it would probably be a lot easier to do it on a controller.
Show yourself. Go ahead. I'll hang back and watch the gate. Got them all.
Okay. So Kaya's gonna hang back. Nothing in here I want.
Just what everyone needs at the end. Someone to watch him die.
Didn't you explode just a little bit the last time we saw you?
Barely holding on, really. I'll always thank the gods that we took down the mines and crippled the living land's resistance.
How in the world did you survive that explosion?
Survive? They flatter me. I'm barely hanging on. Those resistance bastards did a number on me, as you can see. On that note, I'm glad to see you. I can't believe, after everything we accomplished in Shatterscarp, that you would betray the Emperor. Why, Envoy?
After all we've done, we don't deserve these lands.
The others here are deserving. Why? Because they made it here some number of years before us? You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Adir.
I would love to see you try. Bye-bye. Oh my god, I've... God damn.
Envoy, what are you doing here? I thought you left town weeks ago.
Zerogrot hasn't gone too far, and I'm here to put a stop to
About
it.
time. You're the only one Ludwig will listen to.
Are there any other survivors?
I saw a few on my way here. I imagine they've been waiting for this to happen for a long time. Listen, one of the Garot's units is scouting up ahead, maybe 5 strong. I wouldn't want to fight them if I were you. Take this key. It'll unlock the gate to the canals. You can thank the captain who forgot it.
I appreciate it. I'll be
You
careful.
shouldn't find much opposition down there. I wish someone had stood up to the Steel Garot a long time ago. But, well, you're here now. That's what matters. Good luck.
Refugee camp.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
She's right. We can't go now. Then when? Should we wait till the Garot? Envoy, am I ever glad to see you?
Okay.
Who's there? Stop right there.
Oh.
Take your best shot.
You do not do anything to me. What is up here? What is this?
Are numbered.
How did I miss that shot? I am apparently horrible at aiming.
That's one for us.
Envoy over here. What exactly do you think you're doing?
Liviana, don't you ever take a break?
You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the Steel Garrote. What have you got to say for yourself?
Nice to see you too.
Well, at least you're alive. Try and keep it that way. Kai, is this your doing?
Come on. I couldn't have kept him out of the action if I wanted to.
I knew you were a bad influence. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess.
Very few have what it takes to survive.
You're damn lucky to be one of those few. At least for now. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times.
Fear not the flames of conflict in this shape.
Come on. Tight, but not too tight. You don't want to cut off the blood flow.
Envoy.
Man, it's just using his fist. Heal, heal, heal. Can I get upright? I just don't like how that thing's there. One solid light pick.
Whoa!
Rubytsu demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
Let's pay Ludwig one final visit, shall we?
Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
Let's make sure she stays dead this time. All right, dearie?
There you are.
What's up?
So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time?
I know how to break you now.
So you say. But you can't kill me in a way that hasn't been tried already. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
The living lands will unite and remain free. There's nothing you can do about it.
You can tell Wodaka yourself once we've sent you back to the wheel.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you, Sappadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live.
Sappadal is under my control.
That's what they want you to think. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
You won't survive the fight. Judah says you're vulnerable.
Really, Envoy? You think the delusional theories of a failed animancer are enough to scare me? Then allow me to teach you the meaning of fear.
Let's finish this. Together.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you, you're my prey.
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Come on!
Okay, I can't attack her. Means she's about to pop something up. Do that. Get that. Wow, you did not do anything to me. You know, if I get that bar filled up, you're kind of dead. Oh, you're dead. You're gonna refill back on health? Actually, hold on. I could just heal myself. I hate that that happens. Let's do that. Oh, it's not a good sign. Okay, and then yeah. Let's just refill on just everything. Got it. Yeah. Cool. Bitch.
Don't abandon now! She's desperate, envoy. This is it.
She's really not doing that much damage to me. And C's down.
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
Yeah,
She's
alright.
done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Guys, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Yeah, it might not be the greatest idea, but it's fine.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the Living Lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradise return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The Oracle Sargamus emerges from the Temple of Aethys, unburdened by any purpose but for the one you gave him. He sets out across the living lands in search of the sick, lost and grieving, and he gives them the comfort of fellowship where he can. When his energy flags, he recalls the compassion you extended him, and he returns to his work with renewed devotion. His new labors cannot fill the hole left by his god's passing from the world, but they give him succor during the long hours of the night. He dies alone in the Deerwood, beloved of no one, but remembered by all he knew. He does not forget you. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Research yields new developments in the struggle against nature. Technology is shared among the United Settlements. The Empire cannot get in the way of progress. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the living lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. When Kai returns to Thirdborn, he's no longer running. He finds a town that's been diminished by struggle, conflict, and tragedy. He finds home. He helps repair Thirdborn's walls and train its defenders, carrying on Tama's legacy. And while his labors do not restore all that was lost, they build something new. With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy. Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people, he nonetheless finds that his worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks. While he never regains his former place as a warden of Solace, he spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fiormes Iverno lives on in her. Unable to pass up the opportunity, Yatsley takes her place beside Reengrim. Under the tutelage of the Archmage of Terror, Yatsley sees her own power grow beyond her wildest expectations. But Reengrim is a strict master, and the visits to Quilichi slow to a stop over the years, leaving her with her grimoire and a pile of letters to warm her in her twilight years. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Soppadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Soppadal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands and learn to experience the world as Kith do. Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together, and in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts. And on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it. Because everything is about to change.
And that is Avowed. I gotta say, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game at all. How fast can I make this? Okay, I can just make this fast. I want to see if there's a ending. Thank you for every developer and actress and actress. Actress and actress, Jason Ways. Actress and actors that contribute to the game. Nope. Okay. Yeah, that's the end. That's the end of the game. I'm gonna eventually do my final thoughts on this game. So usually the final thoughts are like the last video that I post on YouTube, and then you get my final thoughts. But here's what I think of the game overall. Not technically final thoughts. It's kind of, you know, cliff notes, right? I do think this game is really good. Though I will say I don't think this game is worth, just want to say, I don't think it's worth $70. There are some problems with the game that obviously they could just improve over time, and maybe it'd be worth $70. But it's on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, go play it on there. But I personally recommend it if you can find it on a sale or you play it on Game Pass. But yeah. Hello everyone, if you like this video then don't hesitate to check out the channel, where I upload my playthroughs, thoughts on games, and many other videos based around video games. If you want to see when the next video goes up, then don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Hope everyone has a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!